Hello, welcome back to Survival Saturday with Johnny Tiger on January 1st, 2022. Hey, Happy New Year, everybody. Hopefully, no one's suffering a hangover today. Uh, I'm here in the training room. Kitchen is otherwise occupied. We've been doing a lot of house chores today, so she's pretty busy. So I take this chance to come in here and get today's video done. It's really cold in here. This training room is the coldest room of the house. Right now it feels like, well, it feels like it's like -5 in here or something. Crazy, crazy cold. But that's okay. I'm pretty sure by the end of this episode, I'm going to get nice and warm. Because a few episodes ago, we talked about the one arm fighting, why it's important to work on that. Today, I'm going to show you why it's so important to learn no arm fighting. Right? That's right, no arm. In fact, a lot of people when they are presented with this particular piece of self-defense and martial arts, they think, "Nah, I don't need that. Why would I be fighting no arm? I'm not trying to impress anybody. I just want to defend myself." Well, I don't choose to fight with no arm either, but it is a skill that I acquired early on. The first time I was exposed to this type of training was actually in the army boot camp in Taiwan, trying to teach you how to be able to maneuver without the use of your arms if your arms are cuffed or tied behind you. And then in my various martial art journeys, I came across this scenario several times. What if your arms are broken? What if you are holding something valuable? What if your arms are otherwise occupied? What if your arms are behind you and tied behind you when you are needing to defend yourself? Now, true story. My last combat exam, my last Krav Maga exam, by the time I had to spar, the last part of the exam is a survival drill. For my test, I have to survive against 7 people. 7 people, every one of them eager to give me all their attention and take me down and make me fail. All 7 of them very capable, some of them higher level than myself. 7 people. I have to survive for 7 minutes. So how does that work? Basically, if they are able to knock you down and keep you on the ground for longer than 5 seconds, you failed. Right? That part is already hard enough. But the first part of the exam was so grueling, you guys can actually see my reaction video on that one. If you go to the official Johnny Tiger YouTube channel, some of you are thinking, what the heck? This is not the official channel. No, the channel you're watching now is my private, my personal channel, where I can post whatever I want every day. But if you go to johnnytiger.com, there is a second YouTube channel there with official Johnny Tiger related footage, professionally shot and edited. And in there is a reaction after the Krav Maga exam, where I talked more about that. Long story short, by the time I finished the first part of the exam, which was conditioning, body conditioning, I was in such bad shape. I was so hurt and sore and debilitated. debilitated. Uh, I couldn't lift my arm higher than maybe solar plex level. I literally couldn't. Uh, I couldn't even get my hand close to my mouth to brush my teeth. Uh, for a few days, for me to brush my teeth, I had to I have to hold the toothbrush in one hand and then take the other hand and put it on the elbow and push it up and in a lot of pain so the toothbrush could get close to my mouth. I could barely feed myself. I could barely do anything because my shoulders were just so badly strained after the first part of the exam. So, needless to say, when time came that I had to duke it out with 7 people at the same time, mind you, 7 people at the same time, I was glad that I knew how to fight without much use of my arm. So, a lot of time when we ask you, I have shown these are Fitness Friday and Survival and Tactical before. Several things you do. No hand. Stand up, no hand. Lay down, no hand. Some people may think, why am I doing that? I don't want to hurt myself. I don't want, because these are drills, exercises that will help you to one day, if you need to, operate with very limited use of your hand. So before we get started, I'm going to tie my hands behind me. Now this is not going to be like a handcuff or anything because I need to be able to get out of it after the video. I don't want to have to walk backward out of the room and call kitchen for help. But this will give you guys an idea. Okay, I got this resistance band. I'm going to loop this over my wrist. Loop this over my wrist. This is a little bit awkward to do behind my back, but okay. So now we got this end. That hand's left hand is tied, and we got the right hand. Loop this over. Loop this over, and there we go. There we go. Both hands tied. Okay. I can't use my hand to block. I can't get my hand in front of me. Uh, that's a bit embarrassing because there used to be a time when I was younger when I actually could. There used to be a time when I was younger, if my hand was tied behind me like this, I could just kneel down and get this under my leg and I could push my leg through them. I was flexible enough, but now can't do it. But okay, so hand tied behind me, can't use my hand. Let's quickly go over what are some of the important things you need to work on for literally unarmed combat. First, very important, footwork and balance. Footwork and balance. Right? This is why we do a lot of moving in deep, deep stances. One leg up, other leg up, skipping, 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 jumping left, right. All this is to design for you to be able to find your balance without the use of your hand. Now, without the use of your arm, for those of you who are sighted, it's not quite as bad. Because after all, you can still see your opponent. For those of us who are blind, this is pretty much like being handcuffed and being blindfolded at the same time. We no longer have the ability to touch with our hand. So for those of you who are blind, when you want to work on unarmed combat, another thing that's very important to work on is how to feel with your feet. Right? How to feel with your feet. I'm going to just walk around the room. Weapons rack, Bruce, stepping off the mat. Yeah, here's the wall, so I won't walk into the wall. So I'm walking kind of weird, like I'm trying to break dance But what am I actually doing? I am using my feet to serve the same function that my arms would have otherwise served. I'm throwing out my foot when I step. So my foot, if it encounters something, I can identify what it is. Is it a person? Is it the punching target? Right? If I extend my foot and oh, that's a wall, then I don't want to kick that. And if I use my foot, I feel, oh, that's Bruce, then I can kick him. I can kick him. I can kick him. So very important. Work on your footwork, your skipping, your jumping, and sensitivity with your feet. These are not kicks that I'm doing. These are tiny little, almost no power, reaching out with my foot to touch, to touch, to touch, to touch. They look like I'm doing taekwondo kicks, but I'm not. Okay? And this is actually a perfect time. We just dropped the speaker. The speaker just fell off the stand. So I don't know where it is. I'm not going to get down and feel with my hand. Okay, I'm going to find it and retrieve it, all while my hands are tied behind me. Okay, let's see if we can get this done. Some of you might say, well, aren't you just using your ear? Aren't you following your hearing? No, because I have my headset on while I'm making the video, so I can't exactly follow my hearing. And my hands are tied behind me, so I can't move my headset. Okay, but haha, look what I got. Now that we found the speaker, how am I going to retrieve this? Well, a person who's much better than me can probably kick this up in the air and turn around and grab it with their hand. I'm not that good, but this is where it's important to learn how to get down and up without the use of your hand. Watch this. There we are. Okay? Flexibility, balance, and the ability to get down and allow my bound hand to grab the speaker that is behind me. Right? Hey, now what am I going to do with this? I can't get it back on the stand with my hand behind me, obviously, but it is still possible for me to set it on the weapon rack, which is closer to where my arm is. Yeah, see? Not perfect, but it got things done. Okay, this is just, and by the way, that speaker thing was totally unplanned. It just happened. But it's a very good uh, example of why it's important for your survival and your self-defense to be able to operate with your arms behind you like this. Okay? Picking up something up from the floor, retrieving it, putting it back where it needs to go. It's just one little example. So, with our hand bound behind us, we work on our footwork, we work on our sensitivity, reaching out with our foot to feel what's around us, what's in front of us. Also, we need to work on how to change elevation, how to get down, get up. So, with my hand bound behind me, I get down on my knee, I can sit down on my butt, nice and comfortable, right? And from this position, I fold my leg under me and roll back to my feet, all without using my arm. With my arm bound behind me, I fall on my back. Okay? I fall on my back. Then someone just knocked me down. That's okay. I do high knee, high kick with both legs, and then use that momentum to roll back on my feet. Again, no hand. Now, that just shifted my headset, so it's a little bit uncomfortable. Can someone reach over and adjust my headset? No? Okay, fine. I'll do it myself. There you go. Improvisation at its best. Just bend my neck and rub my head against Bruce, and headset get adjusted. No problem. Still, no hand. Okay? Someone knocked me down and I fall on my side. Oh, that would actually hurt a lot. And that happened during the exam, during the combat exam. And from here, I don't want to flip onto my front, okay? How I normally would. Because if I flip on my front, this is a lot of work to try to get out. If someone knocked me down on my front or my side, I want to curl and kick and roll and up. Again, leg, core only. No arm. No arm at all. Now, let's look at how effective is it? Can a person really be uh, with their arm bound? Some people can be super impressive with this. I am by no means one of the kickboxing masters or champion, but let's just look. For fighting, now that I got my balance, now that I got my sensitivity, what's important to me is everything I do have to hurt a lot. So I'm not going to worry about the super high kicks or fancy turn and kick and stuff like that. But a lot of those things require your arm for balance. And honestly, with your arm bound behind you, the last thing you want to do is fall down because it takes so much energy to get back up. Okay? So everything will be simple. With my arm bound behind me, I'm going to shift my weight constantly, shift my stance constantly, so they're not going to tackle me. Okay? If they try to tackle me, I need to be ready to shift my weight to the side or to the side, shift my weight to the side or to the side. Every time I shift my weight, I'm ready to attack immediately. Okay? Someone tries to tackle me, I shift my weight, knee immediately come up into the chest, into the face. Someone tried to dive in for my leg, I have to shift immediately and a knee straight off the center. Okay? If I get a chance, I'm going to stomp for the kneecap, stomp for the kneecap, kick for the thigh, kick for the groin, kick for the stomach, stomp for the side or back of the calf or behind the knee, or step down, stomp down on the ankle or foot. Okay? This is what I had to do. Facing off against 7 people, I had to stay on my feet for 7 minutes. I did a lot of stomping, I did a lot of snap kicking, I did a lot of kneeing, I did a lot of heel striking. One secret to successfully defending yourself when your hands are bound behind you is finding your way to a support. Finding your way to a support. So if I'm in the middle of an open area, people can come at me from left, right, forward, behind, any direction. They can come on high, they can come in low. And eventually, someone's going to tag me, someone's going to bring me down. And they did. Okay, they did. Uh, that's when things get messy, is when you fall down. So, to successfully defend yourself against multiple, especially multiple opponents, when your arms are bound behind you, is to make your way to a support, like Bruce here. Even Bruce, who's not very stable, it's okay. But if I can lean on him, then my kicks suddenly become twice or 3 times more powerful. If I can use him for leverage, then I can put my elbows to use. I can put my shoulders to use. I can use my elbow and shoulder to drive my kicks. I can use my elbow and shoulders to shift position. I have more tools at my disposal. And of course, when people get, and a lot of times this will happen, if people eventually figure out, well, it's really bad to stay at long range, let's close in. And they will crowd you so you can't actually do your powerful kicks. And you can't use your hands, so this is a bad problem. But that's okay. Let's say Bruce here, crowding me. We're this close, I can't kick him, right? That's okay. I can still use my knee. I still use my knee. I can actually use my elbow. Even with my arm bound behind me, I can, if we are this close, just bend my arm enough to expose my elbow and then whip my body around. I can use my elbow. I can use my shoulder tackle. Right? I can bite into his neck. I can headbutt him. When they get this close, then I have way more tool to use. Right? One more thing, very important. A lot of people, when they carry their self-defense tools, tactical pen, knife, whatever, they carry it in either on the neck holster or in the front by their right hip if they're right-handed, or in their purse. Okay, I want you guys to think about maybe it's a good idea to carry an additional self-defense tool up your sleeve or behind your lower back or at the very least in your shoes. Because even if I have a knife in my shoes, I can still kind of access that from here. Even when my arms are bound behind me, I just kick my leg up, I can pull out whatever knife I need, right? A lot of time I do carry a self-defense tool behind my lower back. So while I'm kicking and stepping to the side and kneeing and headbutting and shoulder tackling, my hand is not doing nothing. While I'm doing all that, my hand is back here extracting my knife. Okay? Once I have my knife in my hand, this is very important. When you're back here, you don't want to hold it in a regular saber grip. Right? I'll show you why. Because if I'm holding this in a regular saber grip, and things get really chaotic, there's a big chance of me stabbing myself in the tailbone, or if someone push me back, I might get myself in the spine, or I might stab my left hand. Okay? So once you extract your tool from back here, you want to, this is why you want to practice, you want to switch your grip to commando. At commando grip, there's very little chance of this stabbing myself because the angle is facing outward. Okay, now we are in business, right? Now I have this behind me. If any one of them dare to come really close to me like this, I whip around, let's go right into the groin or belly, right? They approach from the other side, I whip around, eh? I have now a very sharp instrument in my hand. It's not very long range, but this gives me a lot of advantage in addition to my kicks, to my headbutt, to my bite, to my shoulder tackle, to my elbow strike. Okay? And when I'm ready, when I have a moment to myself, I reverse the grip back to dagger grip because all my attackers are either gone or laying down, knocked out, whatever. I reverse the grip and carefully work this under whatever is binding my wrist. Right? You don't want to cut. You don't want to cut from outside in. Right? You don't want to cut from outside in. If you cut from outside in, you are going to cut your own spine. You want to work this under. So you cut from inside out. This actually gives you way more leverage too. Right? So the way to cut is to pull with your left hand, or if you're left-handed, you pull with your right hand, and the hand with a knife in it, just hold the knife still. Okay? Don't try to saw away with this like this, because if there's not enough tension, if you just saw it with a knife, it's never going to break. Okay, especially if it's something like zip tied. Okay, so rather than using the knife and the rope, I'm going to use the rope and the knife. I'll just hold the knife under the rope, nice and steady. The other hand, okay, I'm pulling the rope all across the blade of the knife. This way, if it suddenly break, I'm not going to cut myself. Right? And it's a lot easier on my hand. I know that this is a kind of advanced stuff, and I did want to do something a little bit more unique and advanced for New Year, just to show that yes, we have been running these episodes for a long time, but we are far, far from being done yet. Um, there's a lot here to practice, and not everyone going to feel inclined to practice these because it is hard work. But I hope that somewhere in this episode, you've seen something that will make a difference in your self-defense in the long run. Happy New Year. We'll be back tomorrow.